Hey everybody, this is Sophie from Hotspawn, and we are back with another episode of Hot Takes, this time featuring a brand new guest. Owen, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. Good, we've been trying to get you on this podcast for literally like 3 months, and finally our schedules aligned. So,
It's hap-
It has happened.
that's it. Patrick, you just got back from Singapore. How you doing?
yeah, I'm doing great. Was a fantastic show throughout. Had very little to complain about. Yeah, just had a had a blast, if you will.
Outstanding. I mean, it's kind of lucky that you even made it back in time for this podcast because it seems like the storm hitting the Philippines right now was trying very hard to prevent us from filming this.
Yeah. In fact, the weather service is saying that it might come back. It left the Philippine area of responsibility like today, but they're saying that it might turn around. So there's a possibility that I might see it after all. But yeah, for as far as this episode of Hot Takes is concerned, green light all the way.
It was just doing that in case, you guys were going to set off for Baslam Chengdu. It was like, I'm going to come back just in case.
eh, yeah, I mean Chengdu is still about a month away, so wouldn't have mattered. But like round two, apparently.
That's it. Well, good luck, have fun, I guess. Um, So I wanted to talk about Blast Slam today, obviously, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was the very last thing that happened at this event. So it was a best of 5 grand finals. It goes to 5 games. Match 4, match 5 had the exact same draft. I don't know that I've ever seen that in a grand finals before.
No, I don't. I don't think it's actually ever happened at a tier one LAN. And not only that, the bans also went in the exact same order that they did in the fourth game for the fifth game. I saw Knoxville tweeting about it like sometime after game five, and it has happened in qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken. Like it involved both SA and China. But yeah, as far as a grand final is concerned, never seen that happen before. Think Blast Slam made history in that regard. And I mean, you could see the crowd reactions. Everyone was egging both teams on when Tundra had the last pick, and everybody wanted Morphling. They were chanting Morphling, Morphling, and Pure was like he was aware. He did this. I think he heard the crowd even through his IEMs and his headset. So yeah, both teams were obviously having a lot of fun with that game four and game five. Just great to see, especially knowing that it was happening in a Southeast Asian tournament. Crowd was super into it. Lovely
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Absolutely. So I think I am super interested in what was going through Malreen's head when he was trying to
Yeah.
pick, like thinking about picking that puck at the end. So like obviously this draft did not work as intended in game 4. Owen, why did they think it was going to work in game 5?
Yeah. So I was actually kind of skeptical about that pick as well, because uh, Puck is not really like a Malrine hero. He has like maybe like 12 or 13 Grandmaster tiers, and Puck is one of them. But I still don't think like that's his identity. And like you said, he had that last pick, and didn't really work out last game. And I mean, he's playing for like what $400,000, and he's still going like, you know what? Let's just give the crowd what they want. Let's just pick it, and it didn't really work out. So yeah, he had the chance to like pussy out and pick out another hero, but he still went for it. So respect.
I mean, yeah, you got to if you were going to pick another hero, what would you have picked for Malreen in that
Oh, I
draft?
don't I don't remember what the bans were, but
I don't remember what
the
the bans
the
were
hero
either, and I
pool,
realized that halfway through that question.
yeah, the hero pools were like pretty limited because BZM had picked Queen of Pain, right? So you don't really have that many good matchups against her. Puck is definitely one of the better heroes because you can just phase shift the dagger and the scream of pain. So I don't really remember what he could have picked, but I'm pretty sure another hero might have worked better, something like Alina.
I think he wanted to pick Sand King, but because it was too late at that point, the crowd had already got into him, so I think he just went with it anyway. But yeah, I agree with your assessment, Owen, that Puck isn't really a Malrine hero. He doesn't play traditional mids all that much. It's always the Sand King, the Primal Beast. I mean, Pango is a traditional mid at this point, but when you think of traditional mids from back in the day, you would think of Puck, Queen of Pain, um, Storm, Lesh,
Don't you sleep on
spellcasting
Winter
heroes.
Wyvern here, Patrick. She is the original mid.
Okay, Wyvern, I guess. But yeah, I think he just wanted to put on a show.
Yeah.
Like you said, it did cost $400,000 to do so, and it didn't work out in the end. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see both teams just lean fully into it.
Yeah, he got peer pressured by the entire stadium, so
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. Who among us could say we wouldn't have caved to that? I would have been
yeah.
like, yeah, let's just do it. That would have been so much fun. But I
It's like,
guess
don't ruin it.
exactly. Like, you don't want to go down in history as the guy that fucked everybody's good time at the Blast Slam final, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um but I guess so. If we just want to talk about how the games actually went after this draft, game 4 started off, Falcons had this really dominant lead. It kind of looked pretty cut and dry to me, and then they completely lost it. That's also not how game 5 went at all. So is that just a case of Tundra sort of reading it a little better, knowing what they were trying to do? Like, I would love to know what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, go ahead, Owen.
Yeah, so they first pick Skeeter's Gyro, right? And Morphling's actually like a really good matchup against Gyro. It's almost impossible for Gyro to fight Morphling in the late game. So I think in both games, especially the first one, Falcons had like a really good lead. I think they were like up 5K in like 12 minutes or something like that. So yeah, they really had to get more out of the map while they were ahead. Because when Pure gets like this butterfly, BKB, and like his core items, it's gonna be very hard for Skeeter, Gyrocopter to fight him. Like even though Skeeter ended up picking up the rapier, like Pure was still like manhandling him. So yeah, it's just like Falcons, they're usually really good at playing with a lead, but there were like a couple pickoffs that they gave away, which slowed the game down and let Pure get online. So yeah, it's just a very hard gyrocopter matchup against the Morphling. And I'm surprised they didn't ban it in the fifth game, but like we said, everyone got peer pressured. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, when I did my post game interview with Moon Meander, um, he did mention that the Morphling was there to counter the gyro pick from coming from the side of Falcons, and he just had so much faith in Pure to pull it off. As we know, Pure is like the balls to the wall kind of carry. He just divide, go in without any fear. And sometimes it does come back to bite him. Throughout the grand finals, there were some times where he would get picked off completely out of position. I'd just be in like on the arena floor, sitting, looking up at the screen. It's like saying out loud, "What is he doing there?" But yeah, he managed to pull it together just in time for the last two games. Uh, Great recovery from him. Uh, a lot of people will always point to those issues as to saying that that's going to be his ceiling if he doesn't get over that. But if there's any environment, a team environment that can help in that regard, it's probably this one because uh, you've got Moon just coaching him, telling him what to do and what not to do. The rest of the team is relatively stable. They play a style where the pressure is more on 3-3 rather than pure. So yeah, I think the way that worked and that kind of dynamic really unlocks Pure's play style.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen Pure compared to Duraccio a couple of times in this way that he's just like, I'm gonna fight whether you guys are here or not. If you're here to land your stuns, that's great. If you're not, I'm just gonna fight anyway. And I don't think that outside of that kind of environment that would ever work. But it does for him, and it worked for Duraccio. So
I mean, just at his time with Bet Boom, right? He won a few tournaments like that, but um, Bet Boom was one of the teams from the previous season where we would be like, when are they going to throw? Not if, but when.
yeah, exactly. When are they just going to lose one game, tilt off the face of the earth, and lose the rest of the series? That's what happened to them every time. Like,
Yeah.
now that they're not doing that, they're doing much better in their results, which is interesting to say the least. But obviously, we've talked quite a lot about Pure, but I just don't think that we can do a full episode of Hot Takes without talking about Owen's lover, Crystallis here. I've never known someone love Crystallis as much as Owen does. And
The
he had
floor
a
is
really
yours,
good
Owen.
tournament here.
Yeah, so I'm the biggest Chrysalis fan, but I'll have to admit that like uh in terms of grand finals, I think Pure is definitely a more the kind of guy that you need. So when you have like your back against the wall and you're playing against the best team in the world, like you need someone to take gambles, and like Pure is that kind of guy who will just risk everything, and hopefully it pans out. If he loses, then we were supposed to lose anyway, but I'm just gonna take the gamble, and if it works out, then this is what happens. And before talking about Chrysalis, I also want to point out that in the third game of the finals, he had last pick on carry and he picked Lone Druid because I think he was supposed to play Dragon Knight, but he's like, guys, I think this is a really good Lone Druid game. And then he basically last picked Lone Druid, forcing BZM to play Dragon Knight mid against Monkey
Mhm.
King. And like BZM had like 0 game, and the game ended with Tundra having like 2 kills. That's like kind of the risk that doesn't pay off. But he made up for it, and he got the job done. But yeah, I mean, Crystalis, he also had like a really good tournament. He was pretty stable with the new mouse roster. And but yeah, I think I'll have to admit that Pure is probably a better fit in Tundra than Crystalis. I'll have to admit it, guys.
Yeah, because I guess what we see quite a lot in Dota, probably more so than other esports. I feel like someone's going to come at me for saying that, but I think this is true. If you get together a full new roster, you can't just expect them to start winning straight away. Like, it's not gonna happen. It takes time to find all of that synergy and stuff. But I actually feel like MAUs are finding that much quicker than I thought they would. And I think a large part of that, maybe 6 to 8 months ago, I would have not have considered myself a Crystallis fan. But I actually think he's a really great guy. Like, just watching all the
He is.
content pieces with him, and like seeing the way that he interacts with his team, I was like, now I feel bad for ever hating on him. He doesn't deserve this, man.
I
And to watch
mean,
them find that synergy is really good.
it's easy to hate on him as a player, but as a person, it's just impossible. He's a great guy, as you said. When I was supposed to do the interview with Boom, the guy also playing for Mouse. Uh, it was actually Chrysalis that came into the room first, and after he did an interview with another outlet, I got him for the rapid fire questions, the TikTok style video, and he was super into it. Like, he answered the question about who are the top 5 players in your role this year. He said, "Oh, just 5 of me." So, okay, just 4 Meepo clones of Chrysalis and Chrysalis himself. Yeah, he's a really fun guy to talk to. Um, he does have his ups and downs in game. as we've talked about plenty already. But yeah, impossible to hit a guy like him on a personal level.
Absolutely. I think I said this to you on at the time, actually, Patrick, that when the biggest difference that I've seen between Dota players and Counter-Strike players is when you ask Counter-Strike players, like, name the top best AWPers, name the top best riflers, they very rarely say themselves. And then Dota players are like, it's me, it's only me, I'm the only one who matters. It's like,
Yeah,
I kind of love that.
don't know what's up with that. I think Dota players just ham it up a lot. We've had our fair share of flamboyant personalities over the years, and I love it. I mean, we love our we love our superstars, and we love our hero versus villain stories. That dynamic is always important in any sort of competitive pursuit, if you ask me. So the fact that Dota players are willing to lean into that is great.
Hmm. Absolutely. I would really love to know who your favorite interviews were, because I know you haven't done IRL interviews for quite a long time. So who are your best? I will accept a top three.
Top three. Um, First would be Moon, because I've been following him since I was a teenager. I played Han when it was big, and he also played Han when it was big. If there's any single person aside from maybe No Tail and or Fly that represents Han and its legacy, it's Moon. So I was super super excited to talk to him, and he gave me just the greatest answers in the world. In my head, as he was speaking to me, I was just like, my God, never change, man. Uh, Number two was probably Snaking. Really insightful guy. You can tell that he's been playing for so long, and that is part of why he's won two international titles. He understands the game really well, understands how to play within a team system really well. Yeah, it was great fun talking to him. Number three, that's probably a little tougher. If it has to be a player, I'd probably say, well, not Toronto, Tokyo, because he gave me just the most terse answers in the world, which I should have expected, I guess. Uh, I didn't get to talk to Boom, so there's only one other player. Forgetting.
Yatoro?
Yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. The goat himself.
The goat.
He doesn't obviously he's from Ukraine, so English probably isn't his first language, but his answers were a lot more substantial than I was expecting. Uh, really learned a lot from him. Just how he felt when he told me how he felt when he was still playing with Yellow Submarine back in 2020. He said that it was a great time because no one was really expecting them to win, and then they come out like the next year after TI got delayed because of the pandemic, and they shocked the world by winning it anyway. So to see where he's coming from and where he is now, and still have the humility to be taking interviews like he does, it's great to see. Yeah. So those three players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with Yatoro, as we've said before, one of the things we have to remember is bro is like 22, you know?
Yeah.
And he already has gone as
Just,
far as a Dota player can go twice and is still
yeah.
playing at this level. Like, have we seen that before? Have we seen anybody keep going that long after winning TI and like win
Yatoro
it
is my
twice?
age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about. Like
Yeah.
he still has his whole life and career ahead of him. Uh, who knows how many TIs this guy's going to win? He's still up there at the top three or top five best carries in the world. Hero pool is ridiculously large. Yeah, the sky's the limit for him.
And oh man, I'm a big Yutaru fan. I hope he never quits. Just be around as long as Dota is. But so we're sort of singing the praises of a lot of carry players here. But there was what I wanted to talk about was the heroes and how often they were picked at this tournament. So if we're gonna think about the top 5 heroes, and I'm just going off their picks, not their bans here. The top 5 most picked heroes in the entirety of Blast Slam 4 were Hoodwink with 41, Snapfire with 32, Abaddon with 31, Jakiro with 29, and Tusk with 28. I feel like it's quite intense that there are 4 of the top 5 heroes were support heroes.
Yeah, I think like those heroes you mentioned, they're generally like very safe picks, so they can be picked earlier in the draft, and they kind of just give you what you need, right? They just give you good lanes, they give you stuns, they give you some team fight, and I guess like Hoodwink and Snapfire in particular are like very strong laners right now, because now people are just going for like the Lil Shredder early on, and that deals like so much damage. For Hoodwink, she just like scales very well into the game, and Bushwhack is the spell.
Yeah. I'll talk about Snapfire first. Yeah, I agree. Lil Shredder is probably a little overtuned right now. You press E, you win your lane automatically. It's too good. I mean, especially against if it's picked either 4 or 5, it's good either way.
Yeah.
But against offlaners with low armor or close to serviceable amounts of starting armor, you just take all of that away. Your carry can just go wail on them with impunity. Then, like I said, you win your lane. As for Hoodwink, yeah, Bushwhack is crazy. We saw Ari just show how clutch that spell can be in hectic 5-on-5 team fights. You just throw it in there, and it's basically like a mini Ravage, right? You stun like 3 heroes, and suddenly you're winning the team fight that you were losing just 5 seconds ago.
Mhm.
So that made such a huge difference in games 4 and 5, especially because Ari was just rolling with that hero. Like you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking that this guy had just joined the team shortly before the tournament even started. He showed class well beyond what his resume would indicate. I know he's been in a tier 2 grand final before, but this is his first tier 1 grand final and his first tier 1 grand final win. So yeah, I really wasn't expecting him to stay so cool under pressure like he did. But yeah, super clutch Bushwhack casts made the difference in team fights that they were supposed to lose. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think particularly I would love to see the Ari Hoodwink become like Collapse Magnus or these classic hero matchups that
It's
we
starting
have.
to get there.
Exactly. And just to talk about Jakiro a little bit, because I am a huge fan of Jakiro the hero as a perpetual position 5 player. And obviously, we haven't had much of a gameplay patch since TI, but they did reduce the cast time on Ice Path. And I honestly think that was the best thing they could have done to buff Jakiro. It is game changing. Even just reducing it by like half a second, that cast time, it's made an absolutely huge difference to this hero. And I love seeing him played at this level. We had like 5 years where we never saw Jakiro at this level, and now we're getting him in the top 5 most picked heroes. I love to see it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree.
Sorry, go ahead, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, casting Ice Path is like one of the most like tilting things because like it takes so long for him to like breathe it out. But now that you have that reduction, it's definitely easier. And he's also really good scaling into the late game with his agonyms. Like that does like so much damage.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
he acts with the walls on the side of Macro Player, right?
Yeah.
yeah. There's also the the reduction in cast time to Ice Path, it opens up the ability to skip Yules entirely because he used to. Jakiro used to really rely on that just to set a single kill up, but now you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. It gives you room to prioritize other support items like Glimmer Cape, which is still really strong to this day, even after they removed the movement speed buff. I whenever I'm farming roll queue tickets, I always play Jakiro, so that's good to see.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like you're going to have a pretty easy time of it these days.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we've covered Blast Slam 4. Let's think about PGL Wallachia Season 6 is up next. Then we're heading straight into Blast Slam 5, straight into Dream League. We've got a very hectic end of the year schedule for Dota. I'm just having a look at the teams that are coming into PGL Wallachia here. And first of all, it's very interesting to see teams like OG's new roster is on there, Peru Rejects, which I imagine a lot of people haven't heard of, but it's Parker and Dark Majo and Dark Mago. I don't know how to say it.
Mago.
Raw
Something.
Gaming, a Chinese roster that I haven't heard of at all. We might actually get some interesting new teams here.
Yeah. Let's talk about that OG nod for a little bit.
I can't come
they-
into a podcast with two SEA Dota players and not talk about this new OG lineup.
We're starting with this. So while I was there at Blast Slam, apparently OG acquired Team Aureus, who were also at Blast Slam, but they played during the online part, not the LAN. So just as far as success to how new they are ratio thing, I'm not too surprised that they've been picked up by an org, but I didn't expect OG in particular to be picking them up because OG recently let go of their previous roster before this, and it hadn't even been a month, if I'm not mistaken, when they announced the acquisition of Team Aureus just a few days ago. And I wrote in my news piece breaking this announcement that I thought that OG needed to really cool off from Dota for a while. They have not exactly fielded any roster with a good amount of success as of late. It feels like it's been 2 years since we've even seen anything noteworthy from them in Dota. But it's cool to see that Southeast Asia and especially Filipino teams are still getting picked up. We'll see if this will stick until the end of the year, because that is in my opinion, a perfectly valid question to be asking. Is this team going to see the new year, or are they going to disband before the calendar even changes? The first big test will be here at Wallachia. They did qualify for it. I'll give them that. So the only thing that has really changed is that they're playing under an actual organization instead of just as themselves. We'll see how it goes.
So I actually think this move is pretty smart, because I guess that's my hot take. So first of all, like,
Oh, there you go.
fielding players is one thing, but like money is the other. I'm pretty sure, like, I think it was last year or this year, OG lost like 2 million or 3 million euros or something. So, moving from Western Europe to SEA, where it's significantly cheaper, I think like this financially, this roster is like easier to maintain. Like boot camps are like way cheaper and stuff like that. So I think they also have like a Mobile Legends roster in Malaysia, so they also have that kind of experience in SEA. Maybe that's where they got the inspiration from. But as for the players, like Patrick said, they did play in Blast Slam 4 in the online stage. and they were one series away from qualifying for the main event, and that was like their first rodeo as a new team or in like a tier 1 environment. So as you said, like, you know, this stack looks promising, and it's not like these are some random players, right? You got Yopaj, Scam, Tims. These guys are, you know, very well known globally. And the main thing is that now that Talon Esports are no longer there, well, their roster like imploded or something, so they're not here yet. So now there's room for a new big SCA team, and that's either probably gonna be Boom Esports or OG at this point. So, you know, OG, they have like a really good shot at becoming the next best SCA team, and they can probably just like farm qualifiers there. So I think this is actually like a pretty solid move. Like, instead of just trying to find European rosters, like mixing and matching, this is probably like their best move yet in the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's
Because
like
obviously they. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. Because yeah, going back to the whole mixing and matching European players thing, uh, it really did feel like they were just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. The difference this time is that they are picking up a team that had played at Last Slam, and it's not just this weird hodgepodge of players that aren't signed to any contracts. Let's just pick them up off the street, basically, see if it'll work out. There's going to be cohesion here, at least at a level better than or higher, sorry, than what we've seen over the past 12 months. Whether or not it'll actually work out, just from a talent and skill perspective, is still anyone's guess, obviously. But at least they have that going for them.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously they went out into LATAM first, which I think they're probably trying to achieve the same thing with this move to SEA as they did when they moved to LATAM. It is an easier region. Like, with the very best will in the world, Western Europe has dominated your Dota for many, many years now, and those qualifying spots are uh kind of difficult to come by. So I would really love to see OG come back. I am a huge OG fan from back in the day. As I say, like 7 no tail and that TI8 win are the reason I'm sitting here having this conversation with you right now, because I watched that one game and I was like, I'm going to make my entire life about Dota now. So I would really love to see them have that success. However, I do have to poke a little bit of fun of them today, and I'm going to ask you guys just one simple question. Excluding Glatam, how many people have played for OG in the year 2025?
It's
Uh,
definitely in the 20s, I think.
yeah, I would think it's between 15 to 20, or maybe even more than that. Obviously, since they had that last roster, and then you add on this one, so that's 10. Lelis, that's 11. God, I can't even remember more than half of who um, might be remaining. Did Uragi play for them this year?
Yeah, I don't even remember
So,
anymore.
yeah, because Uragi's. I just remember Uragi being on Navi for
Okay, but
most of last season.
I remember they lost the TI quals to Navi Junior, so I think that was another roster. So that would be like 3 rosters now at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
probably like
an exact number.
it's probably like 18 people is
Yeah,
my guess.
I'm gonna go with 21.
Okay, cool. Are you guys including the SEA roster with those?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
So
Let's change it to include the new SEA roster.
okay. Then my guess would be 23.
Okay,
yeah, I'll go with
Patrick?
21.
Okay, Owen, you are bang on the money. It is
Oh my god.
23.
Oh
23
my!
individual Dota players have played for OG in the year 2025.
Yeah. because they definitely had 3 rosters in Western Europe, and they probably like mix and match some people. So I added like 2 or 3, and then now with this I see a roster, I add another 5.
Yep. I mean, a couple of people survived through a few iterations.
Yeah,
23
days
Savage,
for sure.
9 X Nova, Stormer, Shad, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot. So
I have no
let
words.
yeah. One of the funny things is like their phosphor is days, right? Their phosphor was days. He used to be
Mhm.
a Navi Junior, and he got plucked out of Navi Junior. He's like, hey guys, look, I'm in a tier 1 org, and then the team proceeds to qualify to TI without him.
Oh
Oh
man,
boy.
it hurts so bad.
But speaking of which, while we're at the topic of OG, I mean, once you leave OG, that's like the best career move. Like Ari, he used to be on OG, and like he has just
PGM.
won his first tier 1 event. Yeah, with VZM as well. ATF on the other side was also in the grand final. So yeah, I mean, like if you wanna have a long Dota career, I guess you gotta go in OG first, so you get the buff once you leave.
Yeah, I mean, really, they're just doing a service to the people here. It's like an
Yeah,
internship program. I mean, you could
yeah,
say
yeah.
the same for their Counter Strike roster as well. Alexi B came up through
Mm,
OG. Like,
Flamesy.
yeah, exactly. He's on Vitality now. Like, I don't know
ATF
what
leaves
OG have
OG.
got, but
ATF leaves OG and then immediately wins TI
Yeah.
after.
it's just a public service, as we say. If you want to have a career in Dota, you go do your internship with OG, you sign for a month, you play no officials, career guaranteed.
Yeah, even Whisper was on OG and he won recently.
Yeah. I mean, Whisper was on OG, and then Heroic
Yeah.
did South America's what, second or like equal first best run at TI ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, equal first.
Yeah.
Sixth
So,
place. Yeah.
I mean, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good for sure. I think there's also, just to talk about like new teams coming out, there are a few teams coming out of China coming up in these next couple events, and I think this is really interesting because China seems to be one of those regions where the pros, like the top tier pros, just keep cycling round. They just keep
Yeah.
coming back in like what is
Yep.
essentially an aging tier 1 player base now. But now with Blast Slam 5, there is a team Tier Laments. Tier Laments. I don't think I know any players on here. I know ZZQ,
Mm.
um, but I think that's about it. And then the same for PGL Wallachia. Let me just get it up real quick. Raw Gaming, another team. I don't think I know any players here.
Um,
Um. Yeah. With Roar
I've heard of
Gaming,
Red Panda.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I've heard of him too, and I've seen Katyu's name here and there. Tier Laments, I have no freaking idea who these guys are. Oh, apparently their carry is Erica. Okay, I know him. Used to be known as Poyoyo. Um,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
Erica is
helpful.
definitely ZZQ was in Team Zero, and then the 7E guy, their mid laner, he used to be like a top 10 player in SC. I played a pub with him once, and he just ran
Oh,
down mid, so not a
oh,
great
interesting. Okay.
experience. But
that
I've heard
is
of
interesting.
7E before. I think he was on eHome back then, like way back.
Yeah, says here for like 5 months he was part of eHome.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess if you guys know more a little bit more about these players than I do, what are you expecting? Do you have any expectations for these kinds of new rosters? I think this is a really good move for China. I would love to see them come back and be the Dota powerhouse they used to be.
Yeah, I feel like, Ame's TI run kind of reignited everyone's fire in the Chinese region, but I mean, we've definitely seen like these kind of Chinese stacks, uh, just randomly qualify for an event. They usually don't too
I am
much, though.
murdering the storm.
And with like these two teams that you mentioned, I don't think we should expect too much.
Yeah.
Bottom of the power rankings.
Yeah, they're gonna be there. Yeah, like Owen said, we shouldn't expect too much from them. It's just that with most international tournaments that have invite slots for Chinese teams, there's just so few top tier squads in that region right now. So when you invite like one or two Chinese teams, it's just going to be one of three, right? Right now, it's going to be Tidebound, XG, and the other one is Yakult Brothers.
Mhm.
So that already takes at most two out of the equation when it comes to the Chinese regional qualifiers for any given event. So it's always just a case where it's wide open at that point. You're gonna get a bunch of tier two teams just fighting it out for a chance to go to a LAN at all outside of China. So whoever comes from those qualifiers, you're probably not going to know who they are like at all. So yeah, I wouldn't expect too much from the qualifying teams. But when it comes to the big three right now, XG obviously have the best shot at upsetting the balance. Tidebound, they're quite different from what they ran with at TI, so jury's still out on them. I think their roster from the previous season actually had serious potential. I mean, they won Clavision Masters, right? I really wanted to see them stick together for another go at it, but I guess you're right when you mentioned earlier that just the top tier players in China are just cycling between teams and orgs. It's something that they've always done in the past, even before the modern era of Dota. It's probably not going to stop at this point, and it does lead to some instability that I don't like seeing. There's no continuity to speak of in most cases. But yeah, when it comes to their motivation to do well again and to get back to competing with Western Europe and Eastern Europe, I think this is their biggest opportunity right now after what XG did at TI14.
Yeah, for sure. Because with Blast Slam 5 in particular, one thing they do I really like, they have a team from the host region. It's Extreme, and then Tidebound were also invited. So that's and Yakult Brothers were invited as well. So that's all three,
Yeah.
and we
The big
still
three.
got another one. So that's I guess it's good for them to get some kind of LAN experience. It's a whole different ball game playing Dota on LAN, but yeah, perhaps we won't start seeing miracle runs from them.
That is provided that they can even survive the online phase, though, because I think the format for Slam 5 is exactly the same. Only 6 teams will actually make it to the arena.
Yeah, so this
Yes.
Tidebound roster is actually like, they swap people around, and 4 out of 5 members were in the LGD gaming roster that made top 3 at TI 12, which was
Yeah.
2 years ago, except that Nothing to Say is now going to XG. And Tidebound, they've been playing in Dream League Division 2 against like a bunch of European teams, and they are winning. They're about to win, but they were like dropping maps against like some random tier 3 teams. So that's like a little bit concerning because I think like China's best player is probably Nothing to Say, and now he's going to XG,
Agreed.
and I think XG is gonna be like really, really scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. I mean, maybe Abe will get his Aegis eventually. We live in hope. Or cope, perhaps, but Okay, great. So we have just one last thing that I want to talk about today. And it's because I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning because I was doing a blast media day for Counter-Strike and helping another of our writers out. And Dota got patched, as it does in the middle of the night in the UK. We have a crossover. We have Dota 2 and Monster Hunter, which I've never played Monster Hunter. I've repeatedly been told that it's a game that I would really like, but now like too many people have told me that and I don't want to play it anymore. But I mean, it's not the patch we wanted, but I'm not mad about it, you know?
Yeah, I have been playing Monster Hunter since I was in high school. So that's more than 15 years at this point. I'm a huge fan. I've played basically every game except for Frontier because that was like online exclusive and was never translated. I woke up this morning to the news and I was like, okay, where did that come from? I'm happy about it though. The skins look pretty dope actually, especially for Dragon Knight because his new set is basically just the Rathalos armor, and Rathalos is probably the series' mascot. Um, Even people that haven't played the series, I'd say, know what that monster looks like.
Yeah, I
Pretty
do.
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go. And this, I say I was surprised, but thinking about it now, this didn't exactly come out of left field because um, Valve have collaborated with Capcom before on, as far as Dota is concerned. Amaterasu from the main character of Okami is in the game and as a courier. So there is some precedent to this. I just didn't expect that it would be Monster Hunter though. I thought they might go with Street Fighter again because I believe that Akuma was in Monster Hunter World, and the latest game is Monster Hunter Wilds. So yeah, I would have thought that they'd go with Street Fighter because it's a more popular franchise. But yeah, here we are with Monster Hunter skins in my Dota. Two of my favorite franchises coming together. Love to see it.
Yeah, I've never
That's it.
actually played Monster Hunter, so I don't really know. But yeah, the sets do look pretty cool.
Absolutely.
You guys should definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry for saying that again. to you, Sophie.
usually though, when I do get over that and actually play the games that everybody tells me that I like, I do eventually like them. Um, so I bought the upgrade because basically I every year when I go to TI, I just sell all my Crimson Witnesses and I use it to pay for my Steam stuff for the next year.
Same.
Um, so
I got two last time.
nice. Yeah, so I have like £300 in Steam credit and I was like, I should inject a little of this back into Dota. So I did, and I got the little effigy pet. His name is Poogie. I would die for Poogie. Oh my god, he's
Everyone
so
would die.
cute.
Uh,
I felt like, when they released Boglet, and I was like, I can never farm these camps. I can't kill Boglet. I'm sorry, guys.
yeah, Poogie is he's a series staple. He's been around since like the PSP games, so that's a long while. Uh, I'm so happy to see him here as a courier, especially. He's probably going to be like, the star of the show here, aside from maybe the Dragon Knight or the Anti Mage sets. Definitely give Poogie your love.
Definitely. Yeah, so he's not a courier, he's an effigy pet. So if you
Oh,
have
he's
an
not a
effigy,
courier. Okay.
yeah. So basically, if you're in your base and you're not being attacked, then he just like
Yeah.
follows you around inside your base. And then if you leave the base, he goes and like hangs out at your effigy. But it's very important to note that Poogie never dies in the game. If your
Oh,
base
thank
is
God.
under
Okay.
attack, Poogie runs away because I was like, I can't play Dota ever. This is like,
Yeah, no.
around Christmas and you get like the Roshan Christmas skin, and then when you kill him and his little Santa hat falls off, I can't deal with that, man. I'm not here for that life, and I just didn't want that with Poogie as well.
That's good to hear. Good move from Valve.
This is actually the first time I've heard of an effigy pet. Is that like a new thing?
I think it's a new thing. I've never seen it before either.
Yeah, because
And
you have like
I've
the
never seen one in
frondillo.
the game.
Like
Yeah.
I've only
Frondillo,
ever
he
known them
follows
to
you
be
around.
I've only ever known them to be like the statues that you destroy at the end of the game.
Mhm.
So it's cool that there's
Yeah.
now something sort of interactive with it. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there was something like if the enemy enters your base, then Poogie like runs away so it doesn't like visually complicate the team fight and like
Mm.
fuck you up essentially, which, you know, is a surprising amount of foresight from Valve, and I like that.
Yeah, I always thought that about the pet cosmetics actually with the I don't have it, so I don't know the exact name, but that armadillo that rolls around with you, I
Yeah.
don't know what
Frondillo.
it is. Yeah, that one. I always thought it might become pay to lose because like if it's visible through fog or any shenanigans like that, it's like, oh, there's someone there. Let's go gank him. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to know that he's programmed to run away so that it doesn't cause any more visual clutter. God knows Dota is already cluttered as it is.
Wasn't there something? I might have completely made this up, so do correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't there a bug where on the Crystal Maiden Arcana, the dog that follows you around, basically, if you didn't run far enough into the trees, the dog would just hang out in the lane, and it just like completely wrecked it? Did I make
Um,
that up?
I don't. I don't play enough Crystal Maiden and I don't have the Arcana to say for certain, but it's Valve. It's entirely possible that that's true.
I have the CM Arcana and I play her a bit, and I don't think I've run into this problem unless I'm not like paying attention.
Okay, good. Well, I'm sorry if I've just slandered Valve unintentionally. Then I apologize. Um, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna have that problem with Poogie. So heroes that have got the new skins. Let me just get it up real quick. So we had Sniper. We had Wind Ranger, Beastmaster, Techies, and Dragon Knight and Anti-Mage. Let me just run that through again because I was rememorizing it as I was pulling up my own article with this. So Sniper, Techies, Anti-Mage, Dragon Knight, Beastmaster, Wind Ranger. If you're going to pick one, which are you picking?
Ooh, I would probably pick the AM one because I main the weapon type that he uses, dual blades.
Ah.
Um, I don't think they picked anyone that uses longsword, which is my secondary.
Mhm.
Uh, and I already play carry anyway, so probably that one.
Nice. What about
I
you,
don't
Owen?
know what I don't know what any of these sets mean, but Sniper looks pretty funny,
Yeah.
so I'd probably go with him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think sniper has the heavy, either the light or the heavy bow gun. So yeah, there are guns in the game. It's not just like a Glock or anything, but yeah, you can use projectile weapons that aren't just a bow. So makes sense that they did pick sniper.
He fits the
Yep.
theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that you said that because when I was looking at these like hero selections for skins, I was like, what?
Yeah,
But
they're
okay, if it
definitely
fits with Monster Hunter, then that makes more sense.
Yeah.
they're grounded within the gameplay. It's just they picked heroes that fit the bill when it comes to the weapon types that are available.
Mhm.
Nice touch.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, I feel like you guys have had to listen to my insufferable questions for long enough. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined us for this episode of Hot Takes, and we will be back very soon.
Thanks guys. Bye bye. See you all.